Hey guys, my name is Zach. Welcome to the Joy of Hobbying. Today we're going to work on the 90s Kenner Power of the Force 12-inch scale Yoda, and we're going to try to make it look a little bit better so that it will display well alongside other Hot Toys figures. This is a figure I got from a buddy to work on for this channel, so I'd like to give Dean a shout out for this. But the figure's going to be broken down into a few parts of the figure, the outfit as you can see here, and the accessories. It's a pretty basic figure, and I think a few of the things that we're going to do are going to really take it to the next level. Now this outfit here, I think the edges of this fabric are a little bit unsightly, so we're going to trim those down just a little bit, basically reducing them by about 80%, and we just do that with a pair of nice scissors, and you can see what we're left with. Looks a lot better already. And then we're going to take some Tamiya weathering kit. We're going to use the mud effect, and since Dagobah seems to be a muddy, swampy planet, we're going to start working that into the fabric here. I do the right side first, just so that you guys have a frame of reference of the right to the left. I think it looks a lot better this way. It looks just a little bit more worn in, a little bit more used for a universe and a planet where everything is kind of muddy and nasty. And, you know, I considered using some brown paint and kind of using a wash to tint this, but in the end, this really worked out the best. And it's a method that you'll see me use quite often on this channel, if I mentioned in the past. Tamiya weathering kits are just ridiculous. I use them for almost everything. And you can see the results are quite nice compared left to right. So the worst thing about this Yoda figure, in my opinion, is the nails. They're this really unsightly orange color, and I really don't think in any depiction of Yoda they've actually been depicted as orange. So we're going to start with some chipping brown, and we're going to start giving Yoda a little bit of a nail treatment here. And we're also going to work that chipping brown into this cane because I think it's a little bit too yellow. We're then going to go into some Apple Barrel Khaki, and we're going to thin this down quite a bit. Apple Barrel Khaki. And we're going to work from the tips of the fingers down towards the base, leaving a little bit of chipping brown exposed and kind of blending it in just a little bit. You know, maybe he has a little bit of dirt on his fingertips. That might cause a little bit of darker ring. And you can see here with his fingers and his toes done, nice little mani-pedi for Yoda, looking a lot better than he was with those bright orange fingertips. Now on these older figures, a lot of times with the eyes, they'll add a little white dot in the eyes, and I really think it looks silly when they're already glossed, and so you'll already get that application of the quote-unquote white for light source. So I'm going in here with some German khaki green and repainting the colored portion of the eyes. It's a little bit lighter. I like it. It's just a little softer. And we're going to repaint the colored portion of the eyes and the blacks of the eyes just to get rid of that weird white effect that they do. And then we're going to hit this stick, which we painted with chipping brown, with a black wash, and that's going to kind of fill in all the details. We're then going to go in with some white glue, and we're going to paint this on Yoda's head where his hair would be. And using some pillow stuffing, we're going to then start hairing Yoda. Very easy to do. Less is more. He doesn't have a crazy full head of hair. But you can see here with the white glue, I'm going to go ahead and apply it. And quite thin at first, and then begin to work it in. And as you're applying hair, you can add a little bit more, apply more hair, add a little bit more, and apply more hair. Once you get closer to the top layers of the hair, you want to not be really applying onto the hair anymore because you'll start to see it. And you can see I'm laying here the first bit of this hair. And like I said, less is more. Really kind of thin it out. And try not to work too much left to right. Also work top to bottom. And that will give you a real natural mixture of hair. And you can see with the hair almost done here, it looks really good. Built up in the back a little bit towards the top of the head. And then just a small amount for the sideburns. Really easy to do. And it really takes that figure to the next level. We're then going to go with some Mecha gloss, and we're going to gloss coat the blacks of the eyes, let that dry, and then gloss coat the entire surface of the eyes. That'll add a little extra depth, and it'll eliminate the need for the pre-painted white light effect that was originally on this figure. Mecha gloss, I think, is just a really, really nice thin gloss. It really works well for eyes, and I've never had any complaints with it for people that I've worked on figures for. Now, this belt looks a little cheap, so I'm going to hit it with some matte finish, and you can see here it works pretty instantly, and after just a few more minutes, you can see that side is matted and that side is stock, And you can see how stark of a difference that is. I was going to repaint it with chipping brown, but frankly, I kind of like the way it looked like this. And we're just going to hit it with a little bit of a black wash, which I'll apply quite heavily, and then I'll come back in and remove some. And it's really going to allow this belt to look like aged leather like it should. I really wish that this figure came with the Bissell necklace. I think that's the only thing that is missing to really completely replace the Hot Toys figure, but those can be found for a few bucks on part out websites like Toy Anxiety. And here is the Yoda. He is looking infinitely better, in my opinion, and you can see I'm fumbling here. But yeah, he looks really great. We're going to take him off the stand and take a look at him from different angles. I'll show you the belt, how it looks in a second. I really think this guy came out really good, and hopefully my friend is able to display him proudly alongside his Hot Toys figures. Hope you guys learned something.